What if I told you that one random YouTube video, one that was never supposed to be special, never planned to go viral, somehow completely and utterly broke the internet? I'm not talking about a Hollywood blockbuster trailer. There were no explosions, no superheroes, just one simple upload, and then total chaos. It started just like any other day on YouTube. Someone, somewhere, pressed the upload button. They probably leaned back in their chair, thinking, hey, maybe my mom will watch this. There was no high-powered marketing team behind it, no massive budget for special effects, no dramatic, heart-pounding music to build anticipation. It was just a video, quietly slipping onto the YouTube platform, arriving like it was late to the party and hoping no one would notice. It sat there, unassuming, one in a sea of millions of other videos uploaded that very same day. For all intents and purposes, it was destined to be forgotten, a digital needle in an infinitely expanding haystack. It was the definition of ordinary. But the internet had other plans. At first, predictably, nothing happened. The view count trickled in. 10 views, then 20. A single comment popped up, the classic, first. It was the digital equivalent of tumbleweeds rolling by. The video was just there. But then something shifted. Deep within the complex, mysterious heart of YouTube, the algorithm stirred. It was as if this all-powerful code, this digital kingmaker, suddenly paused its endless sorting and scrolling, took a good long look at this one particular video, and said to itself, wait a minute. I like this. And just like that, the floodgates opened. The recommendations started firing off like a machine gun. Phones all over the world began to vibrate with notifications. Pop-ups appeared on home screens, insistently suggesting you might like this. And people clicked. They watched. And then they found themselves thinking, okay, just one more time. Of course, they were lying to themselves. The algorithm had chosen its new champion, and resistance was futile. This is the point where it stopped being just a video. It mutated. It evolved. It became a cultural phenomenon. First, it became a meme. Screenshots with funny captions spread like wildfire. Then came the reaction videos, with creators pausing every 2 seconds to overanalyze every little detail. Soon after, it was remixed into songs, its audio sampled and looped into catchy, unforgettable beats. It inevitably found its way to TikTok, where its sound became the backdrop for a million different dance challenges and skits. And then, somehow it transcended all of that and became a personality trait. You weren't just someone who watched the video. You were a fan. People didn't just passively consume it. They actively participated in it. They quoted its best lines in daily conversation. They recreated its most iconic moments in their own backyards. They argued about its deeper meaning in the comments section with the same passion reserved for great works of philosophy. The internet had lost its collective mind, and it was glorious. Then something truly wild happened. The video escaped the confines of YouTube. It broke through the digital walls of its home platform and began to conquer the rest of the internet. Suddenly it was everywhere. It was trending on Twitter, with hashtags that made absolutely no sense to anyone over the age of 30. It was plastered all over Instagram feeds, sandwiched between vacation photos and sponsored posts. It was being shared in those old Facebook group chats you thought you'd muted years ago. Even your friends who proudly claimed they never watch YouTube were suddenly experts, dropping obscure references and inside jokes related to this one video. You can just imagine the creator at this point, staring at their phone, watching the world burn, and thinking to themselves, man, I really should have fixed the lighting in that shot. This is where the numbers stop making any sense. 1 million views, that's a huge milestone, then 10 million. The creator is probably freaking out. Then 100 million. The view counter was moving so fast it looked nervous, like it was struggling to keep up with reality. Comment sections were refreshing themselves, a new wave of opinions and reactions appearing every single second. Somewhere in a data center, YouTube servers were probably sweating, fans whirring at maximum speed just to handle the traffic. And across the globe, in a quiet, collective whisper, the internet community seemed to say, "We did it again. We made something famous for no reason at all." The numbers just kept climbing, becoming abstract, losing all meaning. It was no longer about views. It was about global domination. And with that domination, fame hit differently. It wasn't the slow, gradual climb of a traditional celebrity. It was an overnight explosion. The creator went from being a random person on the internet to a legend. They became a meme themselves, their face plastered on t-shirts and coffee mugs. And, of course, they became a target for the internet's most persistent question. Part 2 when? The brands came calling, offering lucrative sponsorship deals. The media requests for interviews flooded their inbox. You just know that somewhere in a Hollywood office, a producer leaned back and said, "This story needs a Netflix documentary." And it all happened because of one person, one idea, and one single click of the upload button. It was accidental fame, the purest and most chaotic kind. So, what was it that truly broke the internet? What was the secret formula? The final twist is that there wasn't one. It wasn't a meticulous plan. It wasn't a clever marketing strategy. It wasn't a perfect professionally produced setup with flawless lighting and sound. It was simply the right moment, the right audience, and the internet doing what it does best, being the internet. It was a perfect storm of randomness and virality. Because on YouTube, and in the digital world at large, the biggest, most unforgettable moments are often the ones that were never, ever supposed to happen in the first place. That's the chaotic magic of it all. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down the rabbit hole, be sure to like and subscribe for more stories from the wild side of the web.